Gather round, adventurers. A brave soldier and his 5 uniquely talented friends are about to face a very sly king for a treasure beyond imagining in our story. How 6 men got on in the world.
A brave soldier, unjustly dismissed from war, felt a spark of anger fizzing inside him. He clutched his meager 3 farthings, vowing to seek a grander fortune from the king through strength and cleverness. With determination in his heart, he marched into the whispering forest, ready for a new path. He knew he wouldn't be content until he found allies to help him claim the kingdom's treasures, feeling a sense of destiny pushing him forward. Deep within the rustling forest, the soldier met an astonishingly strong man. This giant, well over 7 feet tall with a thick brown beard and a gentle face, wore a rough-spun brown shirt and heavy trousers. He casually plucked 6 tall trees from the ground as easily as one might pull blades of grass. "Will you come with me?" asked the soldier, his voice filled with awe. The strong man agreed, but first he wanted to take his bundle of sticks home to his mother. He wrapped 5 trees around one, hoisted the enormous bundle onto his broad back, then lumbered away with a friendly wave, promising to return. After the strong man returned, they journeyed on, feeling confident about their growing team. Soon they encountered a lean, agile huntsman about 5 feet 10 inches tall, with sharp, focused eyes, dressed in practical forest green hunting clothes. He was kneeling, rifle poised in his hands, ready to fire an incredibly precise shot. "What are you aiming at?" asked the soldier, intrigued by his focus. The huntsman proudly declared his target was a fly's left eye, 2 miles away on an oak branch. Impressed, the soldier invited the exceptional marksman to join their quest, and he readily agreed, shouldering his long, slender rifle. Their adventure continued until they spotted 7 windmills on a distant hill, their large sails spinning rapidly even though there was no wind. Puzzled, they journeyed closer, eager to discover the mystery. 2 miles later, they found the source of the mysterious breeze. Sitting high in a leafy tree was a round-faced man, about 5 feet 5 inches, with rosy cheeks, wearing a blue smock. He was skillfully blowing air from one nostril, keeping the distant windmills turning with his powerful breath. "Come with us!" cried the soldier, realizing their team was becoming truly unique. The blower, eager for new adventures, gladly joined their company. As they traveled on, the group met a tall, slender man, easily 6 feet 2 inches, with sparkling, swift eyes. He was sitting by the path, one long leg casually detached and resting beside him. "Why are you resting so comfortably?" asked the soldier, curious about this odd sight. The man, a phenomenal runner, explained that he took off a leg to stop himself from running far too fast. With both legs, he was quicker than any bird could fly. "Oh, come with us!" exclaimed the soldier. "With you, we can conquer any challenge." The runner, wearing a red tunic and shorts, neatly reattached his leg and joined the growing band of heroes. Their final companion was an old, wise-looking man, about 5 feet 4 inches tall, with a long white beard and a gray cloak. He wore a distinctive blue cap tilted dramatically on one ear. When the soldier politely suggested he straighten his cap, the old man revealed a surprising secret. If his cap were straight, a terrible frost would instantly fill the air, making birds drop frozen from the sky. "Incredible!" said the soldier, amazed by his power. "Come with us, Capman. Our team is complete." With this wise and powerful member, the 6 friends felt ready to face any adventure the world held, their spirits high and united. Soon, the 6 came to a bustling town where the king had declared a grand race. If a man could outrun his daughter, he would win her hand in marriage, but if he lost, he would lose his head. The soldier, clever and brave, stepped forward toward the throne. "My servant will run for me," he announced boldly to the king. The king, a regal man with a golden crown and purple robe, about 6, tall and a bit portly, agreed with a stern nod. However, he warned that the servant's life and the soldier's would both be staked on the victory, raising the stakes dramatically. On the exciting day of the race, the soldier strapped the runner's second leg firmly into place. "Be nimble, my friend," he urged, with a wink, "and let's win this." The challenge was to be the first to bring water from a distant well. The king's daughter, a beautiful and graceful young woman, perhaps 5 feet 6 inches tall with a flowing pink gown, was given a pitcher, as was the runner. They started together at the sound of the signal, but in an instant the king's daughter was left far behind. The runner blurred out of sight like a flash of wind, a red streak across the sunny landscape, making bystanders gasp in amazement. The runner, incredibly swift, reached the well in record time, filled his pitcher, and turned back towards the castle. But halfway through his return journey, exhaustion overcame him. He set his pitcher down carefully and cunningly used a horse's skull as a lumpy pillow, hoping the discomfort would wake him quickly. He soon fell fast asleep under the warm sun, dreaming of victory. Meanwhile, the king's daughter, running with impressive speed for an ordinary person, arrived at the well and saw the sleeping runner. With a sly smile, she emptied his pitcher completely and continued on, thinking she had secured her victory. High atop the castle, the keen-eyed huntsman, 5 feet 10 inches with a focused gaze and dressed in green, had been watching everything unfold below. He saw the king's daughter's sneaky trick and her unfair advantage. Determined not to let her win unfairly, he quickly loaded his long, slender rifle. With incredible precision, he aimed and fired, expertly shooting the horse's skull right from under the sleeping runner's head without harming a single hair. The gentle boom of the shot echoed across the fields, a signal of help. The sudden, loud sound of the shot startled the runner awake. He sprang up, saw his empty pitcher, and realized the king's daughter was far ahead. Without losing heart, he raced back to the well with renewed vigor. He refilled his pitcher and sprinted home, arriving a full 10 minutes before the princess, who trailed behind. He stood triumphantly before the king, 6, tall, crown, declaring with a confident smile, "I've barely begun to run. That scarcely counts as running." The king and his daughter were absolutely furious, realizing they had been outsmarted once again. The king, utterly dismayed that a common soldier and his friends had triumphed, plotted their downfall anew. He invited the 6 companions to a delicious feast in a special, imposing room. The room had a floor and walls of cold, dark iron, with windows heavily barred to keep them in. "Eat and be merry," declared the king, 6, tall, crown, with a forced, thin smile. As soon as the friends were inside, he slammed and locked the heavy iron doors with a clang. Then he secretly ordered his round-bellied cook, about 5 feet 8 inches, white hat and apron, to build a roaring fire directly beneath the iron room. Soon, the iron floor grew scorching hot, making the companions sweat, and extremely uncomfortable. They looked at each other with alarm, realizing the king was trying to roast them alive. "He won't succeed," declared the wise Catman, 5 feet 4 inches, long white beard, gray cloak. He bravely adjusted his blue cap until it sat perfectly straight on his head. Instantly, an arctic blast of cold air filled the entire room, turning the rising heat into frosty air. Food froze solid on their plates, and the roaring fire below was utterly defeated by the sudden chilling cold. The room became comfortably cool, and they waited patiently, knowing they were safe. After what he thought was enough time for them to perish in the heat, the king, 6, tall, crown, ordered the heavy iron doors opened, expecting to find nothing but ashes. But to his utter astonishment, all 6 companions stood there, alive and well, though shivering. They cheerfully complained about the extreme cold, joking that even the food was frozen solid to the dishes with frost. The king, 6 tall, was absolutely fuming, and stomped down to scold his portly cook, 5 feet 8 inches, white hat, apron. The cook, confused, pointed to the still roaring fire beneath the room. The king grumbled, realizing these men were truly extraordinary and unstoppable. The cunning king, 6 tall crown, changed his tactics once again, his usual trickery failing him. He offered the soldier any amount of shimmering gold if he would simply leave his daughter alone and depart. "Give me as much as my strong servant can carry," the soldier replied confidently to the king, "and I'll not trouble you further." The king, eager to be rid of them, gladly agreed, relieved it seemed so simple. For 14 long days, the royal tailors sewed a monstrous sack, larger than any ever seen before. Then, the strong one, 7 tall, thick beard, effortlessly heaved the gigantic sack, as big as a small house, onto his back. The king watched, wide-eyed and terrified, realizing his grave mistake as the strong one asked for more gold, saying the current amount hardly covers the bottom. Just as the strong one, 7 tall, was finally tossing the last bits of treasure into the still not full sack, the king's 6 tall crown rage boiled over into a full fury. He sent out 2 regiments of horsemen to reclaim his stolen wealth. The soldiers rode fast, their helmets glinting in the sun, and demanded the sack. But the blower, 5 feet 5 inches, rosy cheeks for puffing them up, would have none of it. With a defiant shout, he closed one nostril and blew with all his might from the other. A mighty gust of whoosh wind swept through the horsemen, scattering them high into the sky, one over a mountain, another far into the clouds. One kind sergeant, about 5 feet 10, a regular soldier in armor, was gently lowered back to the ground by the blower. The sergeant returned to the king, describing the unstoppable power of the 6 friends with awe. Realizing he was utterly defeated, the king, 6 tall crown, grumbled, "Let the rascals go! They have the best of it!" The 6 clever companions journeyed home, their enormous sack overflowing with riches. They happily divided the treasure amongst themselves, building comfortable lives of peace. They lived contentedly ever after, a testament to what incredible things friendship and unique talents can achieve together. This wonderful adventure teaches us that even when facing difficult times, great strength comes from working together. Each friend had a special talent, and when they combined their unique skills, they could overcome any challenge, no matter how clever or powerful their enemies were. So remember, friendship, teamwork, and believing in ourselves can help us achieve truly amazing things. This wonderful adventure teaches us that even when facing difficult times, great strength comes from working together. Each friend had a special talent, and when they combined their unique skills, they could overcome any challenge, no matter how clever or powerful their enemies were. So remember, friendship, teamwork, and believing in ourselves can help us achieve truly amazing things, just like the 6 clever companions. Their story is a celebration of unity and the power of individual gifts combined for a greater good.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com